Okay, let's talk Redwing. Okay, Redwing is the next upcoming Spotlight Cash card. Redwing is joined by Baron Zemo and Loki. Yes, Baron Zemo and Loki. Baron Zemo is good for your mill type decks, and Loki is a card that has been nerfed quite a bit. He used to work well with Irisham at one point. Before that, he used to work very well with hand generation effects. Now he's just kind of there. But I digress. Those are the two cards coming with Redwing. Now, of course, let's get into Redwing's ability, which is the first time this moves, add a card from your hand to the old location. It's a 3/3 with this ability. So that's, I get that. I don't know what that is, honestly, because he technically, Redwing doesn't have a move ability inherently. So it's one of the things you have to remember, that you have to trigger the move. It's just like Spider-Man 2099, where you have to trigger the move yourself for something to happen there. Okay? So I think that's Spider-Man 2099's ability, right? He's the one where when he move, he destroys a card, right? But it's once per game. I mean, this is basically a once per game thing too, because it's the first time this moves. Now, does it reset if it gets sent back to your hand, then goes out again? Does it re-register it at the first time it moves? I don't know. Frankly, I don't think there's enough time to realistically test this out, since he did 3/3. And 3/3 is pretty low stats. They might buff him altogether, but I am not sure, because 3/3 is pretty low stat. At least with Spider-Man 2099, technically, worst case scenario, he still is a potential hitter of some kind. I mean, you could argue putting this in a Silver Surfer deck, but with that said, are there any good move cards in a Silver Surfer deck? Are there any move cards? I mean, cards that move, cards that trigger moves, rather. Like Ghost Spider with triggered move. Heimdall triggered moves, but isn't exactly good in a Surfer deck. You wouldn't put Heimdall in a Surfer deck. I mean, maybe you would, but yeah, I get that is a move deck card, so you'd want to do like a Madam Web style thing, but even then, is it worth it? I guess that depends. In theory, you can actually target what card that it actually pours. Like, you could empty most of your hand and have only one card that it pulls. So when it moves, it pulls a card to the old location. It says add a card from your hand to the old location. So I'm assuming that means it's a random card. So, I mean, on one hand, a free card that seemed pretty powerful, but on the other hand, you do have to move to trigger it. So, yeah. And like I said, this card doesn't inherently move. Yeah. It could not inherently move, so you'd be relying on like Ghost Spider, Madam Web, Doctor Strange, Heimdall, some other move card. But here's the thing, Heimdall. Oh, that's interesting. That could be a beefy turn 6 play, a juicy turn 6 play, if you will. I mean, it is interesting if you think about it, right? Because technically on turn 6, you could play Heimdall, and Heimdall's one of those cards where you're always thinking, oh, well, I could play this over any card in my hand now. Well, with Redwing, technically, you can play Heimdall and then get one of those cards from your hand. Is it going to be a good card or a bad card? Who knows? Who knows? Also, I don't think that the place for bounce in. I mean, I don't think there's a place for Redwing and bounce. I think it's move specific. Will Redwing become a move staple? Have no clue. Everyone said Madam Web was not good, not the movie, the card. So, so I don't know, honestly. Madam Web for a while was a staple for move decks. Some would still consider her to be a staple for move decks. So will Redwing also become a staple for move decks? My guess is no, but you never know, okay? You never know. Redwing doesn't enable move. That's why I say no. Also, Redwing, like we compared him to Spider-Man 2099, Redwing is Redwing. Doesn't enable move, needs help moving, but and can I just say how from my point of view, flavor wise, it seems very odd that Redwing needs help moving. I mean, Redwing had wings for crying out loud. So I don't know. It just, I mean, I don't know the backstory. Yeah, I watch some Marvel movies, most Marvel movies, watch Marvel shows and whatnot, but I don't know the back lore of every character. So feel free to leave comments saying how, oh, you just don't understand. Redwing was brought up at a young age that it's rude to actually fly about. A Redwing doesn't fly unless they're giving explicit permission by the person in charge type thing. So yeah, if that's a law, definitely let me know if I'm right on the money. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm getting quite off topic, so I'm just going to end off here with a question. Do you guys think Redwing is a good card? Will be a good card? Will get nerfed? Will get buffed? I hope not nerfed. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.